So, we gotta talk about this. Like, I am literally just back from, like, you guys probably can't see it. I am soaking wet right now. I just played a freaking hour and a half long tennis game in torrential rain, and I am going to record this. I'm gonna go and shower, and then I am going to record maybe one or two more video, or another one, no, maybe one more video, and then we're gonna watch party the game. But I just want to preface this by saying what Dejanay Carrington had read in the email is not acceptable. It should not be acceptable for a person to do that. And has it been like, did she intentionally do the eye gouge? I don't care at this stage. At this stage, I don't care. I blame the refs more at this stage for not calling it than anything else. But the reality of the situation is that it doesn't matter because she's not suspended, she's playing the game. This is very clearly a Carmelo Anthony celebration, but at the same time, like, some of the stuff that she's received is unacceptable. But these WNBA players, one, they need to be media trained. One, they need to be media trained, and two, I don't understand the selective outrage. Brittany Sykes, a player in Unrivaled. By the way, Caitlin Clark is not doing Unrivaled. Jesus, imagine going into Unrivaled for this crap. Even if you don't want the responsibility, you still have responsibility to speak up. The W has no place for that shit being displayed and said to women, really, don't use players to hide behind intentions of being mean, nasty, and racist. It's disgusting. She's very clearly saying Caitlin Clark has to talk about this. What did Caitlin Clark say about the Dejanay Carrington situation? She said, Dejanay Carrington, it was not intentional, it was basketball play. What do you want her to do? Do you want her to repeat what she said before the Atlanta Dream game before every single game? Do you want her to do that? Do you want her to just quit the league? I actually think that's probably the best. I think they want her to go. Like, this is actually the only thing that I think will make some of these WNBA players happy, is if Caitlin Clark goes, I agree I've been bad for the league. I should quit. I'm going to quit the league. I'm going to quit basketball. And if people aren't putting money into this league, it's your fault. I'm quitting. Like, they want her to quit the league. They want the league to go back to 1,000 fans at games. They want the league to go back to every single team having the same jersey but in different colors. They want the league to go back. Actually, no, they don't. They want the benefits from Caitlin Clark, but they want her gone. They want her gone. Because the reality is that we saw it. It was literally an email from somebody called not NA. It was like NA. It was a burner email address. And I just want to put this out there right now. It's like, these players need to be media trained. Don't share the crap. Like, yes, it's unacceptable to read that. I'm shocked it was only one email. Like, living in the real world, I'm shocked it was only that. Like, I've been called every Irish slur under the sun to my business email since starting this channel, by the way. Like, I don't share it anywhere because there's no good to be done in it. You just block the email sent. You just block the sender and go. Whether it be from the psychopathic Caitlin Clark fan, or not even Caitlin Clark fans, the like crazy unhinged people, deranged, that think a player doing this means they were laughing at an eye gouge and not just doing a Carmelo celebration after a 3-point shot, or the deranged Caitlin Clark haters. I've received every Irish slur under the sun, but I don't care about that. Like, but at the end of the day, like, you might say, oh, I should care, I should call these people out. But the reality is, I'm getting emails from freaking protonmail.com, like literally burner emails. Like, obviously, they're just people saying stuff because they just want it to be read. They're saying stuff in the YouTube comments that probably didn't get through because of my spam filter or because of my comment filters, and I just sent an email. It is what it is. And that's the unfortunate thing about this, is that there are crazy people everywhere. And not only that, there are people that are like, they're just trolls. There are trolls. Yes, obviously, at times it goes into real life, and that's one of the worst parts about being a celebrity. But it's not her fault. And I tweeted this out and I stand by this. Caitlin Clark is not responsible for unhinged people on the internet. Angel Reese is not responsible for unhinged people on the internet. By the way, where was this outrage when Dana Evans and Izzy Harrison were crying? When they were crying. And by the way, they were crying in their press conference. And you know what happened after that? The Chicago Sky fans tripled down. They tripled down. They continued to give them abuse. They continued to get abuse. They doubled and tripled down. Dana Evans was arguing with Chicago Sky fans on Twitter, and they were just personally insulting her. Like, that's not Angel Reese's fault. Like, it obviously isn't. Like, these players, again, this is the dumbest thing you can say. And by the way, like, your money in Unrivaled, you see, I don't know what just happened there. Sorry, your money in Unrivaled I don't know if there's a guarantee that if it's guaranteed for more than 3 years, but without her, it's not lasting more than 3 years. And you're in Unrivaled, you have stake. Like, you have a business stake in Unrivaled, a company that would benefit from her being there, and you're making sure that you are unfairly calling out. I don't know what's going on with my computer here. Sorry. You're unfairly calling out Caitlin Clark for stuff that she has no responsibility for. That is, as a quote-unquote owner of Unrivaled, as someone with stakes in Unrivaled, as one of the 30, you have done one of the dumbest things you can possibly do. That league does not last 3 years without her in it. No offense. No offense at all. I like Paige Beckers. I really like Paige Beckers. She's not Caitlin Clark. Juju Watkins, maybe. But I think Juju Watkins is more I think Juju Watkins is more Caitlin Clark than Paige Beckers. As in, I don't mean that as in she is the superstar. She didn't go to UConn. She didn't play for Gino Auriemma. She didn't have all these players anointing her the chosen one, being in the UConn cliques. She went to USC. She balled out by herself at USC. She created what looks to be the place where top recruits want to go in USC. She's more Caitlin Clark than she is Paige Beckers. I don't see her wanting to do that either. I can see Juju wanting to basically do her own thing in the off seasons. And Paige Beckers is not that draw. Sorry, she's not. I love Paige Beckers, great player. She's not the draw. But I stand by this. Aja Wilson, it's like blaming Aja Wilson for the Aces fans booing Hamby. And that's it. And obviously, it's all happening right before tip-off for a big game. It always happens right before tip-off for a big game. It always happens. Especially with... Look, I don't agree with any of the abuse that Dejanay's getting. I don't like it. I don't like Dejanay Carrington. I strongly There's a difference between liking a person and saying, just making a sound, rational human take that no person deserves to get the abuse Dejanay Carrington does. But I strongly dislike Dejanay. Dejanay has played every sort of mind game. She plays every sort of mind game. She shows up to the Atlanta Dream game with Caitlin Clark and makes sure as hell on her girlfriend's team that she effectively, we saw Caitlin Clark was shook during that game at the start of the year, that had to answer to her. She tweeted out something and all the WNBA players were they definitely were pushing it. And now suddenly Caitlin Clark has to answer something that she probably doesn't feel really comfortable answering. Not that she's not against all that stuff, but she's so scared of saying the wrong thing and getting freaking cancelled. Because she knows that's going to happen. And made sure she will sabotage her freaking girlfriend's team. She'll sabotage her girlfriend's team for that. And then making sure that Nilissa Smith hasn't been doing the greatest job. Making sure that, she goes, Nilissa Smith sends her some flowers. Make sure as hell straight on Instagram the day before the game. There's just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff when it comes to Dejanay Carrington. I think she is mentally way stronger than people say. I think she posted that. Look, she doesn't... there's no chance she reads her emails, by the way. She is a big enough player that any email that's there for Dejanay Carrington is gone to her agent. So she doesn't read it. She didn't have to read that unless she is her own agent. I think, it's completely unacceptable what is said. But she knows exactly what's going to be caused by that. And she wants that to happen. She wants Caitlin Clark's mind to be as far away from basketball as possible so that her team goes and wins. I will stand by that. I will 100% stand by that. And look, Dejanay, I'll say it. You love her. If you're a Connecticut Sun fan, don't let her go. Don't let her go. She is it's hard to describe her as a player, but she's one of those, you love her if you have her, you hate her if she's against you type players. And look, as a Fever fan, I'm not a fan of Dejanay Carrington, but I do know that if Dejanay Carrington rocked up and played for the Fever, I would welcome Dejanay Carrington with open arms. I don't think she'd be messy towards a teammate, but this is my thoughts on it all. None of these players are responsible for this crap. Aja Wilson wasn't responsible for the Hamby situation. Angel Reese is not responsible for unhinged people on the internet. Caitlin Clark is not responsible for people on the internet. That's the reality of it. And Brittany Sykes, she doesn't want the responsibility. She still has a responsibility. If Caitlin Clark has a responsibility, Angel Reese has a responsibility, Aja Wilson has a responsibility. And I don't understand where all the selective outrage is. And I do understand what selective outrage is. Caitlin Clark's not part of the club. She's not part of the club. Like, she came into the WNBA, and in her defense, like we saw at All-Star Weekend, these players really like her, but she's not in the club. Like, she's got her friends on the team. She, for all intents and purposes, like, she is a good person. Like, and you can tell she's probably an introvert as much as anything. She's not going to be trying to buddy with every single player in this league that's not her teammate. There's a mutual respect there. She can get on with them. But, like, she's trying to win. She's trying to win. And she's not going to join the club of WNBA players. She's not going to be in Unrivaled. And, like, if I'm her, I'm not going to Unrivaled. Like, you look at the players. And, like, and people are being like, oh, Taurasi, like, these players don't like us. Like, I think Fee Collier has been nothing but supportive. Breanna Stewart's been nothing but supportive. But, like, it's the Dijonais. I would have no issue with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark being in the same league. It is the Dijonais, now to Brittany Sykes, and I can guarantee you at least one of the next 8 people has said or done something dumb, like ridiculously dumb about Caitlin Clark. But the reality of the entire situation is, obviously what is happening to Dijonais Carrington is wrong. Like, cheap shot or not, what is happening is wrong. It is. We can make a distinction between the two of those things, the cheap shot and the outcome. And there's a difference between criticizing her for that, or even speculating it might have been intentional, because the fact is we saw the replay, it might have been intentional. Even speculating on that isn't the worst thing in the world. Speculating on this is dumb, but speculating on that, it is what it is. But then when it goes too far, like, look, I'm not showing what was sent to her by email. She shared it on Instagram. You can find it if you want. It's completely unacceptable. Like, she got called a word that starts with N. And it then continued to spiral. But, like, at the same time, who is it the responsibility of to stop that? Nobody. It's the responsibility, I don't know, of the parents who raised the people that did it. But it's not the responsibility of number 22 for the Fever.